you or me, and rightly so. So just a constant reminder of spending time in Scripture and letting God speak. It's a good question. Right in front of you. Go ahead, stand up. Yes, T-Long. He's everywhere. First time. It was totally late in life for me. I went to college, did not take a music class, worship class, nothing at all. I love music, but that was kind of the extent of it. But it wasn't until I think I was 23, out of college already, that I kind of started getting into worship. And there was a need, and I was for a service for music, and I was like, I can kind of sing. I don't know what I'm doing, but whatever. It's not about me. Let's do this. So I started doing it, and then from that moment on, then I knew, God just kind of grabbed my heart, and I knew this is what I'm made for. So, any rest of you guys? I know worship ministry was part of the thing.
I think worship music is worship. I grew up playing music in church, and I play music outside of church also, and the two kind of always coexisted. And it was a matter of, like the question before, show Oklahoma back there, knowing when I was outside church playing and knowing when I was inside church, and laying down that pride and laying down that being humble to know that it's worship. I knew in high school that I wanted to continue always being involved with worship, because worship isn't just music, it's a lifestyle. And even though, we get sidetracked and we get distracted, I knew that regardless of what I was doing outside of church with music, I knew that I always needed to be in church, involved with worship, and kind of keeping tapped in that way, regardless of what other things that I was doing.
Kyle Ferguson.
This is legit. For me, I don't think it's really a matter of when you decide, or for me, when I would decide to do worship music and per se. It's really just a matter of kind of whenever I decided to follow God, because at that point it was everything that I was going to do was going to be worship. So if I'm playing music, period, it's for God. If I'm working on whatever I'm doing, it's for God. So all of it at that point when you make that decision is worship, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Good question. Very good question. Sorry about that. Okay, how about this section over here? Sorry. Hat, red shirt, back. What's your name?
Oh. Go on.
Say that one more time, real loud.
Tommy?
Let's see. Well, my mom and my dad both raised me in the church and stuff. I went through high school, went through all the motions, fell away, came back, the whole story. But actually, Matt Bayless, I played with Matt, and he encouraged me, and challenged me to be where I'm at the point where I am now. So yeah, Matt Bayless was a big part of that in my life, and so Matt Bayless.
I kind of have two people. One would definitely be my dad. He's always worked at churches and worked in the worship department. Therefore, he's kind of inspired that in me, and I've just watched him go along his journey. Just the struggles he's gone through and how he's handled that. But I think the most influential on just my walk with Christ would be my grandfather. He's always been a great Christian man, really wise, and never afraid to call me or anyone else in our family out when they're kind of stumbling and leading themselves down the other path. So yeah, without him, I might be in a different spot.
I grew up in church too, just like Tommy. My parents were always having me involved with church. They sang and did all that stuff in church and had me involved. But it was really, I had a youth pastor, Mr. Dill Waldman, who is not with us anymore, who really kind of got me plugged in. He was the first one that really got me into worship music. And that's been one of my biggest influences ever since his death. I know that I look up to God, but I always kind of ask myself, would Pastor Dell be proud of what I'm doing or not? Because he was a big accountability partner for our youth group at the time. He really took time to invest in us and make sure that we were just connecting with Christ.
I had a couple youth ministers growing up that were really great. One in junior high, and one towards the beginning of my high school that kind of instilled a lot of influence into me when I was younger. And then more recently, kind of like Tommy, Matt's very humble, so he would never talk about it, but a big part of his ministry isn't just, to the people in front of us. He does a very good job of encouraging all of us and influencing us. So Matt's always kind of been a really good, steady influence on me, and that has been awesome. So.
It's not true, but it's nice of you. My father, my father-in-law, my wife, my best friend, who's my brother-in-law, all play huge roles in my life. They're so family, friends. Questions? 2:10. Okay. We're supposed to stop at 2:30. It's 2:10 now. So, being the mathematician that I am, that leaves us with 20 minutes. But here's the deal. We'll still keep going here as long as we can. If you have questions that aren't answered, we'll be here afterwards. I know some of you got to get to some sweet dodgeball games or something like that. So,
Boo.
the green noodle in the back. Not you, but what you're holding. What's your name?
Use the blue needle.
You tripping? Who is it? Yeah, what's your name? What's your name? Trey? Trippin' Trey. Cool. Okay, we're all going to see. How old are you? Turning 15. Awesome. All right,
I feel so
everybody,
old
we're
now.
gonna
I have
sing
to
to
grow
Trey,
up.
not Trip.
Turn around.
Trip, you can sit down. It's not your birthday. To Trip. Here we go. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Trey.
Not Trip.
Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Trey. Awesome. You should have an awesome car ride home. Such good friends. Right in front of you, gray shirt. Yeah. Yeah, Houston.
Loser. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all the time, pretty much. No, yeah, I did. In a lot of ways, I kind of fought God on it, I think, because I think he kind of poked at my heart a few times through others, and I just was kind of like, no, I don't sing, I'm not as great musician. So I wrestled with God.